Hey, you need to share a toy, okay? Maybe this is a common sentence for us who lives with siblings. Or if not, you're going to be asked to share with friends or your family. Since at a very young age, we were taught that sharing is quite the opposite of selfish or quote-unquote ego. But of course, as kids, we would share anyways and do what our guardian says. But what if I tell you that this sentence in an upskill could damage you instead? Okay, let's have an analogy of your mental well-being as a 10-slice pizza. And in order to be full, you need to eat 8 slices of pizza. So that gives away 2 slices that you could give to other people or for you to share. But the problem is, due to the way that we were raised or the environment that surrounds us, some people do believe that giving away more slices in return of crumbs can actually make you full. Those crumbs are also known as validation. Of course, at the end of the day, you won't be full because you only ate crumbs. You gave everything away to everyone else. And at the end of the day, starvation settles, all right? You're not going to be full. And here you can see that your mental well-being does not outweigh the validation you get from other people. And the reason behind this, again, is your lack of ego. Here, I would like to express 2 kinds of persons who have low ego. The first one, we can see them in the daily life. They wouldn't complain. They wouldn't say anything about anything that seems wrong. They would just usually smile around. They would feel like they don't deserve anything. And sometimes they would even think, hey, I have this pizza. But there are also some people who are in debt of pizza. So I should just give them away. You see the irony there? It is the same as you're trying to save someone from drowning, but then you yourself can't swim. It's huge trouble, right? And it's really ironic. Well, stop putting everyone else above you. You also have the right to take up space. You have the right to complain, all right? You have the right to speak up. And if you do think like, hey, I'm not gonna complain about this, I don't wanna be a jerk, think about this. There are some people who are allergic to water. Okay? And you think they don't deserve to complain just because it's atypical? They do deserve to complain. The same as you. You are complaining because of an inconvenient situation. And they're complaining just because of water. And you think they don't deserve to complain just because it's atypical. The second one, I think it's quite interesting. These seem like they have the highest ego in this world. You would know when they step into a room, they would bring the presence, the aura of like saying, hey, I'm the greatest dude here and I'm gonna do anything to get to my goal. Well, here's the thing, and the irony once again. Why would you need to elevate your ego when you already have enough? Why do you have the constant need to raise it up and up again and again? They say ego is like a pool that could never be filled. Quite frankly, I agree with it. But here's the thing. The title is The Right Dose of Ego. The amount of ego with which is you're comfortable in. And you having that much ego would mean that you would do anything in your power to make sure that you achieve to fulfill that goal. You're trying to fulfill something that would never be full. Isn't that kind of a waste? You would do things at your own will, and sometimes it may also be at the cost of other people. An example of this is that, okay, maybe you're in a relationship, either platonic or maybe you're in a romantic relationship. And you're having this argument. This is an amazing relationship beforehand. But just because you want to try to prove your point again and again and again to that one person, your relationship is severed. Do you think that it's worth the trade? No, of course not. It's illogical to do something like that. You could end the argument with 1 or 2 words, which is sorry, and you choose not to do that because you want to elevate your own ego. Prioritizing yourself is important. Bringing yourself first is important. Having the right to speak up, take up space, and complain is also important. But this is where you draw the line. If you're doing everything in your power in order so that you would achieve some goal, it's where you draw the line because you're gonna make someone be the cost of your ego. You're trying to fulfill something that could never be filled. At the end of the day, we know that there is no rule of thumb in producing the right dose of ego. As humanity can go as far as they can conclude, their only conclusion is that do your actions to their to a certain extent. You can only do so much to a certain extent, and you should find your own sweet spot. And maybe if you find the sweet spot of yours, you can even help others find their sweet spot. And with that, it is for you and the people to say, hey, I know my pool isn't filled yet, but it's fine. I can enjoy the water anyways and swim in it. Instead of you saying, dang, my pool is never gonna be filled. And this way, I'm never gonna be happy. So that's all for my TED Talk right now. And now I would say the legendary tagline of thank you for coming to my TED Talk.